But once you stay and pursue your passion and go after what's in your heart, the minute it begins to happen for you, people are going to say, oh, you're lucky, but they never know what price you paid. So you got to be willing to go through and pay the price. You got to be willing to take those battle scars. As a matter of fact, it was just yesterday I met a poet from my past, and he held me in contempt. Told me how he was struggling to pay the rent in his mom's basement apartment, and he remembered when we were rocking mics back in 1999, and he would collect standing ovations all the time. He reminded me that he was on the scene way before my genesis, so he just doesn't understand my metamorphosis. He said he's just as, if not more talented, so how come he ain't rocking college campuses? He said even though he's living with his mom, he hasn't lost his gift of speech, but he heard that my gift bought me a crib out in West Palm Beach, and he went on my MySpace account and saw more poetic fans than he could count. And the word that he heard is that my poetry that took me from Maine to Miami, from Connecticut to Cali, from Texas to Toronto, from Reno to San Antonio, from Nebraska to Alaska, from Austin to Boston. He said that's where I lost him, because he heard I'm rocking this poetry in countless different nations, and he heard that I'm a new and improved motivational sensation, and he heard that I'm making several G's per show, so obviously I must be rolling dough. He said, son, obviously you must be sitting on mad ends, because he heard I got rid of the Pathfinder and got myself a Mercedes-Benz, and he heard that this poetry done placed me in over 1,000 different flights, while he's still here in Jersey rocking the open mic on Saturday nights. He said that's the thing about life, son, sometimes it just really sucks, but I ain't mad at you, dog, because some cats got all the luck. I said, word? He said that's what I heard. I said, for this poetry I have suffered much, and there's always some genius to come along and discount it as luck. So before you go judging me from afar, show me your battle scars. Homeboy, you see this gaping cavity in my chest? That's where my heart used to rest. That's where I held sacred the woman that I used to love. But while this poetry had me going down south, she had another man going down south. She invited some co-worker to come over and work her in my bed in my apartment where I paid the rent. Up on my return from tour, I could smell the deceit outside the door. That's when she tried to trick me like that cocaine did Whitney. And my only savior was the poor pain from pen to paper. Because for a reason that was much greater, I had to find a way not to hate her. So no matter how successful you get, there's some things your heart just never forgets. So show me your battle scars. For what were you willing to be feathered and tarred? Show me the sacrifices you made. Show me how you cope after you watch your dreams get day raped. Remind me of the times when you stepped outside your comfort zone in order to get paid. Now, you wanted to know what happened on this beloved college scene? Well, son, here's a commentary. They could not see beyond my skin, which meant they only booked me in February. African American History Month made me scratch my head and be like, damn, because I'm neither African nor American. And all the other gigs that you heard that was paying me, I did for free. Basically, it went down like this. Listen, I'll perform for free, but if I do a good job next semester, could you please book me? And they did. In February, I could not for the life of me make these colleges see beyond my skin. It got me so depressed that I stopped performing, stopped showcasing, stopped believing in myself. And I stayed up depression. I read every book entitled Self-Help. And you know what? None of them helped. But I thought, how could I tell my son to go after his dreams if I gave up on mine this easily? And it was that thought that ignited my recovery. So show me your battle scars, because for this poetry I have fought major psychological wars. I have emptied clips of conviction only to hit nothing but contradiction. Came out here with an attitude that I was determined to bust, and life stopped me like I was seriously not serious. While you've been on Def Poetry Jam more times than I care to remember. And me, I've never been on TV. Yet the major difference between us is that I never expect Russell Simmons to do anything for me. I read Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay on self-reliance, and immediately I became compliant. The mantra that I kept saying to myself repeatedly was, Kirk, if it's to be, it's up to me. But life doesn't quit because you took a dose of positivity. This is where the big boys play, son. Convictions locked and loaded because we go into war. This is where we call for those things that be not as if they are. So you might as well sit in the bleach and become a Kirk Nugent cheerleader if you can't show me no battle scars. You see this hole in my stomach where my guts are hanging out? That's the low blow my ego took when the sheriff came and evicted me from the house. Couldn't pay the rent on a $600 apartment, and this lump in my throat, that's from swallowing my pride and asking my friends if I could sleep in their basement. And this scar under my chin, that's from biting my lip and taking it on the chin when these creditors called to ridicule me. So forceful reminding me of my irresponsibility. There were times I was so broke that I couldn't afford to eat for days. In other words, if you had bad credit, my credit had AIDS. And these scars in my back, that's from pulling the knives out, placed there by mediocre poets who thought I was lucky like that. And these highly developed calf muscles, oh, they came about a month after they repossessed the car. So again I ask, show me your battle scars. Let me see where for this dream life when inside your head with a crowbar. Remind me of the times when parents no longer spoke of you because you were nothing to speak of. Show me the emotional currency you've invested. Let me smell the salt of the tears reminding you you've been tested. And when your dollars run dry, show me your sweat equity. Show me your declarative statement instructing life. Oh boy, you better not mess with me. Remind me of the times when they suspended your son from school simply because you could not pay the tuition. Tell me again, I was rumored that you were on drugs constantly because you knew that you came here to be something more than someone else's employee. Come a little closer, let me have a look at your heart. Whisper in my ear, tell me what you avowed. Remind me of the times when your head was bloody but unbowed. Show me your battle scars, but don't you dare tell me how fortunate you think the successful are. Remind me of the times when you walked the streets of Brooklyn, selling your books door to door, business to business. Remind me of the times when you got on the phone and called over 400 colleges. Tell me how you got your foot in the door after they all told you, we never heard of you. Kirk Nugent don't call here no more. And if you thought that you felt badly because white colleges only booked you in February, never in the summer or fall, let me know how you feel after 6 years on this market, only to realize that black colleges don't book you at all. Show me your battle scars. Let me see what you sacrificed while reaching for these stars. The idea of the perpetual victim, it is sickening. Life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you ever hope to one day embrace the sunshine, then you must take the time to redefine your headline. And you will see that when it comes to life, there's only one guideline. Regardless of how negative the situation, you must find the plus sign. But your skin is unblemished, ego intact, not a single scar. So how can you expect victory when for your dreams you have never went to war? Ladies and gentlemen, you can always tell the mediocre among us they will live and die without battle scars. Thank you.